This week's Parsha is Parshas Tzav and also Shabbos HaGadol, and this week's video is sponsored Le'ilu Nishmas Reb Asher Yaakov ben Reb Chaim Yosef. The pasuk starts off, Tzav es Aaron, Hashem tells Moshe to command Aaron HaKohen on the bringing of the carbon oila, and the carbon oila is the only carbon that is completely burnt on the Mizbeach without any meat going to any of the Kahanim or the Kohen Gadol. And Rashi explains that Hashem specifically says Tzav, a Lashon Zariz, a command, specifically on the carbon oila, as opposed to the other karbanos where it says Daber el Aaron, speak to Aaron. Why? Because since Aaron HaKohen is not getting anything from this carbon, it's going up completely to Hashem, maybe he won't do the avodah properly, maybe there's a chesar and kiss, a loss for him, and he won't concentrate so specifically on the avodah, so we say Tzav, command Aaron to specifically do this avodah so that he should have in mind to do the avodah properly. The question is very obvious. This is Aaron HaKohen we're talking about. The Kohen Gadol, the first one in the entire Jewish history, the brother of Moshe Rabbeinu, the leaders of Klal Yisrael, who took us out of Mitzrayim, brought us the 10 Makkos, the Kriyas Yamsuf, and did tons and tons of miracles for us. We're suspecting Aaron, of all people, that he's going to not do the avodah properly. If we can't trust him, how are we going to trust the Kahanim Gedolim for generations later? The answer is very simple. That every single person on this earth has the Yetzer Hara. Everyone has some sort of evil inclination that's going to, in some way, shape, or form, cause a person to not do the right thing. Aaron HaKohen was no less. Even though he was the leader of the generation, he was the Gadol Adar, yet he also had a Yetzer Hara. He also had to fight himself. So Hashem specifically said, Tzav es Aaron, command him to do the avodah properly, because it's a possibility that he might not do it even though he's the Gadol Adar. And how did they get to be the Gadol Adar? By working on themselves. We think that tzaddikim of our generation, or the Gedolei Adar, they don't have a Yetzer Hara. Of course they do, but they work on themselves. They constantly strive to become better and work on themselves and fight their Yetzer Hara to do the right thing, and thereby that makes them the status of a Gadol. That brings them greatness. In fact, later on in the Parsha, it says, Vayishchat Aaron, that Aaron slaughtered the carbon. And there's a shalshelas, a triple cantillation note on that word, Vayishchat. And there's only 3 others like it in the entire Torah. The first 3 are all in Sefer Bereshis. The first one is Vayismama, by Lot's wife, that she delayed. The second one is Vayomer, by Eliezer, Eved Avram. And the third is Vayemoin, by Yosef HaTzadik. And the Torah is teaching us a strategy of how to combat the Yetzer Hara. Because we all have this Yetzer Hara inside of us, Hashem is teaching us through the Torah, with the Shalshelas, that these 4 times is a strategy. How so? The first is Vayismama, and she delayed. We have to delay the Yetzer Hara, we have to push him off. The same way he says to us to push off doing the mitzvah, we should tell him, no, we'll push off doing the Aveira, we'll do it later, and then eventually don't do it. The second is Vayomer, speak, use your words, and say a tefillah. Daven to Hashem. Pray to God that He help you overcome your Yetzer Hara. And thirdly, Vayemoin, you refuse. You hold back from doing the Aveira, and Hashem will help you. If you accomplish these 3, then you'll be zeichet to the third one. All the way in Parshas Tzav, Vayishchat. You will be able to slaughter the Yetzer Hara, and he will have no chance against you. And in my opinion, that's why the first 3 are in Bereshis together, and the last one is all the way further. In Parshas Tzav, because the first 3, you fight, you do this, you try different strategies, and you don't always see it working right away. Later on, in Parshas Tzav, so many weeks later, you'll finally see the result of Vayishchat, which is the same thing that happens in the Pesach HaGadol, the HaGadol Shel Pesach, which we're going to say next week. We have Magid, we have Shulchan Aruch, we have Tzafim, we have Baruch, we sing praises to Hashem, we have Hallel, we exchange Divrei Torah, we're going through the whole Seder, the Ruchnias, trying to hold off our sleep, trying to hold off on our Ruch and keep our Ruchnias alive. And then finally at the end, HaGadol, it says, V'asa HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'shochat l'malach hamaves. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to shecht the malach hamaves, which is another word, another name for the Yetzer Hara, and he will bring us the Geula Shalema B'karav, B'nisan Nigalu, B'nisan Nasidin Ligoil, Shtaka B'zechet, to greet the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu B'meherav Yameinu Amen. Have a beautiful Shabbos.